Tonight, people from Monroe are asking for answers as the city soon plans to dig up their loved ones' graves. Crews will then move the remains across town, and all of this is happening to make way for economic development in the city. WCNC Charlotte's Nate Morabito spoke with loved ones who say the city's moving too fast.
Off limits to the public, this may just look like another piece of land in an industrial area the city of Monroe is marketing for economic development. But down a dirt road sits the final resting place.
So we are walking into the Billywood Cemetery
Of several families.
There are quite a bit of footstones that are still intact.
Assistant City Manager Jeff Wells says even though the city bought the land in 2018, current Monroe leaders didn't realize the cemetery existed until this past winter.
We weren't aware of it.
He told us the city only discovered the burial ground as crews evaluated the land for potential development. Wells says that's when the city launched a historical investigation and learned over almost 200 years.
This whole area used to be just a field.
Grazing cattle and new trees likely damaged many of the monuments in the abandoned cemetery. The discovery led them to clean up the overgrowth and move forward with relocating the graves, allowed by state law as long as, among other things, Monroe gave 30 days written notice to next of kin. The city identified 170 descendants and sent them letters. Only 15 responded. Just one expressed opposition, but several others didn't get any notice.
This is my 5th great-grandfather.
August Troll is one of those people.
The fact that they're already making a plan to relocate it and kind of take this away from us after we just got it back feels very upsetting.
Troll found out about Monroe's plan to relocate the Billywood Cemetery almost a month after city council members,
all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand,
had already unanimously approved it, and just weeks before it's set to occur.
I haven't even really been given a lot of time to process those emotions.
Clearly you haven't reached out to everyone. Maybe you didn't know there were more people out there. Can you understand why some people would be disappointed they haven't heard from the city yet?
We certainly can understand that.
Wells says leaders want to hear from everyone and are even willing to bring them here to pay their respects.
The city is doing everything they can to be sensitive to the situation.
Wells says one of the ways the city is working to respect the dignity of those buried here is ensuring the way this cemetery is laid out is identical at the new location, here at the city-owned Suncrest Cemetery.
They'll be able to be relocated somewhere with perpetual care. I think that's the most important point.
This one is really interesting.
Troll can see some of the benefits, but struggles giving it a blessing.
I would rather it stay where it is.
Since some relatives weren't included from the start.
I at least want us to have a conversation about it.
Nate Morabito, WCNC Charlotte.
Now, Nate also tells us city leaders report that the relocation will cost $68,000 and should take about 3 days to complete.